There once was a boy named Gimme Some Roy, and he was nothing like me or you, 'cause sitting back and getting high all day was all he liked to do. As a kid, he sat in the cellar, sniffing airplane glue. And then he smoked banana peels when that was a thing to do. He tried aspirin and Coca-Cola, he breathed helium on the sly, and his life became an endless search to find the perfect high. But grass just made him want to lay back and eat chocolate chip pizza all night. And the great things he wrote when he was stoned looked like shit in the morning light. Speed just made him rap all day, and Reds threw him all out of whack. Cocaine Rose was sweet to his nose, but the price nearly broke his back. He tried PCP and ecstasy, but they didn't quite do the trick. Poppers nearly blew his heart. Mushrooms made him sick. Acid made him see the light, but he never remembered it long. Hashish was a little too weak, and smack was a lot too strong. Quaaludes made him stumble, and booze just made him cry. So to make 'em work better, he mixed 'em together, in hopes of the perfect high. Yeah, he smoked, he toked, he sniffed, he whiffed, he popped, he copped, he sipped, he tripped, he drank, he cranked, he poured, he scored, he geezed, he freezed, he cooked, he took everything there was to try. He bought everything there was to buy, until his life had passed him by and his ocean of pleasure dry. Nothing seemed to make him fly. What a sad, heartbroken guy. But then he heard of a cat named Baba Fats, who knew the perfect high. Now Baba Fats was a hermit cat who lived up in Nepal, high on a craggy mountain top up a sheer and icy wall. But hell, said Roy, I'm a desperate boy, and I'll crawl or climb or fly, and find that guru who'll give me the clue as to what's the perfect high. So out and off goes Gimme Some Roy to the land that knows no time, up a trail no man could conquer, to a cliff no man could climb. For 14 years he tried that cliff, and back down again he'd slide. Then he'd sit and he'd cry, and he'd try again, pursuing the perfect high. And the eagles they pecked the skin on his neck, and the buzzards all shit in his eyes. But he blinks and winks and smiles as he thinks, I'm nearin' the perfect high. And if he'd only stopped and looked around the mountain, he would have seen the beauty at heaven's door. And if he had just breathed deep, he would have tasted fresh air like no air ever tasted before. And if he would have just listened, he would have heard the songs of angels fluttering by. But who has time to look, listen, or even breathe when you're chasing the perfect high? Grinding his teeth, coughing blood, aching and shaking and weak, starving and sore, bleeding and tore, he reaches the mountain peak. His eyes blink red like a snowblind wolf, and he snarls the snarl of a rat. And there, in perfect repose, and wearing no clothes, sat the godlike Baba Fats. His bald head gleamed like polished gold, and a white light shone from his brow. In his left eye he sees the future, in his right eye he knows the now. With a smile that beams so beatific, you could see that this is the guy that could reach beneath a fold of fat and come up with the perfect high. What's happening, Fats? Says Roy with joy. I've come to state my biz. I hear you're hip to the perfect trip. Please, tell me what it is. For as you can see, says Roy to he, that I'm about to die. So for my last ride, Fats, tell me, how can I achieve the perfect high? Well, dog my cats, says Baba Fats, another burned out soul who's looking for an alchemist to turn his trip to gold. But you won't find it in a dealer's stash or on a druggist's shelf. Son, if you seek the perfect high, find it in yourself. Why, you jive motherfucker, screams Gimme Some Roy. I've crawled through rain and sleet. I froze 3 fingers off my hands and 4 toes off my feet. I braved the lair of the polar bear. I tasted the maggot's kiss. Now you tell me the high is inside myself? What kind of shit is this? My ears, before they froze off, said Roy, had heard all kinds of crap. But I didn't climb for 14 years to hear your sophomore rap. And I didn't crawl up here to hear the high is on the natch. Now you tell me where the real stuff is, or I'll kill your guru ass. Okay, says Baba Fats, if you're forcing it out of me. There is a land beyond the sun that's known as Zabali, a wretched land of stone and sand where snakes and buzzards scream, and in that devil's garden grows the mystic Zutsu tree. And every 10 years it blooms one flower as white as the Key West sky, and he who eats of the Zutsu flower shall know the perfect high. For the rush comes on like a tidal wave, and it hits like the blazing sun, and the high, it lasts a lifetime, and the down don't ever come. But the Zabali land is ruled by a giant that stands 12 cubits high. With eyes of red in his 100 heads, he waits for the passer-by. And you must slay that red-eyed giant and then swim the river of slime, where the mucus beasts they wait to feast on those that journey by. Then lasso a herd of scrotum-eating birds and fly through the cave of the snots, and satisfy the lustful urge of the queen with the 29 twats. And if you survive the giant, the queen, and mucusy beast of the sea, there's a blood-sucking witch who sharpens her teeth as she guards the Zutsu tree. Red-eyed giants, laughs Roy. Hell, I've seen worse faces in my own mirror, I bet. And as for a river of muck and slime, I've snorted way worse shit than that. And I've known me some bitches and blood-sucking witches and mucusy beasts of the sea, so I'll do their dances and take my chances, whatever my chances may be. For as long as that Zutsu flower still blooms, hope still blooms for me. With tears of joy in his snowblind eye, Roy tosses the guru a 5 and slides back down the mountainside, pursuing the perfect high. Well, I guess that's that, says Baba Fats, sitting back down on his stone, facing another 1,000 years of talking to God alone. Yes, Lord, he says, seems it's all the same, old men or bright-eyed youth. It's always easier to sell 'em some shit than it is to tell 'em the truth.